The island has such a profound effect on anyone who spends time here with us at the Interpretive Center or time on the island. Once it's infectious. You miss the island when you leave and can't wait to get back.
To be here on the island while people are in character, to see them walk around is just like, it's so cool. I wish I was here back then to see what it's like, and you're just that much closer when they're all here to know what it was like.
You need more flour. Look at that. With the flour.
I never look at myself. I put the costume on. It's kind of a slow transformation, but I always try whenever I can to get a look at myself in the mirror, all decked out, and that's kind of the moment. You know what I mean? Like, okay, now it's real. You know what I mean? Now, I'm there.
It's totally immersive. The whole time that the visitors are interacting with the character, they know that it's a historical person that they're talking to.
Where are you now? Come here. Now, there's two things wrong with that little story, that little yarn you've just spun.
Because it's an island, it's easy to actually separate the world from this island. So once you step off that boat, everybody that you see is from that era.
My goodness, I have my husband John, I have the children, I even have our beautiful house here on Beaubears.
You get into it after a while, and like you really start to try to pick it up. Like it makes you really interested in your area that you work in, as well as in the area that you live in.
The stage is the setting here. I mean, the stage is the woods and the trees, and we use all that as our props, and it's such a different atmosphere than actually being on a stage, because it opens up the opportunity to interact so much more with the audience.
People often think like, oh, that's perfect for you. You sound well suited to that, and they say it sounds like fun, and it is fun. So that's why I do it, rather than mowing lawns like that guy's doing.
I started working here in 2001. They wanted somebody that would be around for a couple of years, so I guess I kind of went well beyond the call of duty. 13 years later, here I am still.
Sean, is that you?
Yep.
Perfect timing. Got a minute?
Sure.
Yeah, I just want to go over tomorrow's events, get ourselves organized before everything starts happening.
Sure.
The cooler's waiting.
All right.
The day's plan is set in the morning, but by the end of the day, it can be a completely different day than what we've planned. So we've really become experts on accommodating and we make things happen. So Sean, I know that all the scripts have been prepared. I know we're pulling on a lot of our already created characters. So when we take our first group across, when they arrive at the dock, what can they expect when they get there?
Well, they're going to be greeted right on the dock.
Oh, okay.
We're going to have a character there, the First Nations character, going to tell them kind of the story of the island, mini gook, the whole 9 yards.
So it'll be a chronological time travel.
Yeah, exactly. That's it.
Excellent.
I mean, it's a real tour through time. No matter where they go, along that trail, they're going to run into 1, 2, sometimes 3 or 4 characters.
Right.
Doing their thing.
Yeah.
Living out their existence on the island.
3,000 years of time travel.
Yep.
All right.
Because there's so many people, it's hard to hide them, and normally we try to make it so that the characters aren't seen before the people are upon them. But here we really wanted to get that atmosphere of having a true past experience. So seeing people walking around and just mingling, it really gives you that sense that you're kind of going back in time for a while.
It's a well-oiled wheel. It's just not a matter of throwing on costumes and heading over to the island and taking your place. There's been a tremendous amount of preparation over the years. We've grown from a half a dozen characters to a repertoire of 25 characters, and they're all actual character figures from time gone by.
Get the feel for what the weather is going to be like that day and what the river's doing, as we are affected by the tides here on the Miramichi River. So we're shuttling back and forth most mornings to the island, and then we get ready for our 2 o'clock tour, which is our main event, and then we spend the afternoon hoping that we'll get more visitors who want to spend some time hiking on the island or visiting it with a guide.
It's always trying to place yourself, right? Because I mean, that's the moment when you stop being who you are and you start being that character. And what's on his mind as he comes out there and turns around and sees the visitor.
I am J. Leonard O'Brien. Well, I can see you're suitably impressed.
Some characters are really happy to see visitors on the island. Some aren't happy to see visitors on the island.
Never forget for a single solitary moment that you are indeed guests on my island.
You're yourself in the outfit, in the costume, until you meet somebody, and then you just slip right into character, and it's so quick, it's so instant that you can't tell that it's happening.
But with that, I must take my leave of you. They told me in Lieutenant Governor's School never work with animals or children. Please enjoy the remainder of your stay on Beaubears Island, but not too much.
You're silly!
When you come up to me and I'm James Fraser from Inverness, Scotland, I mean, you're talking to James Fraser, you're not talking to Sean McCarthy. So I try in as much as I can. When you ask me where I went to school or what I do for a living, it's not, Western University. It's, I went to a little school in Inverness, and, you probably never heard tell of it before. And I work on the shipyard and whatever, and all that. So, sometimes that gets frustrating. People kind of really want to know what Sean McCarthy, do. But no, we're always very committed. We always want to, make that experience genuine for people.
I don't know if it's a bit of method acting, really, with Sean. Maybe, maybe not.
Sean certainly sets the example. The characters have their persona.
Cletus and I have become kind of one. When they get deeply grained in there, they have a tendency to stick.
I love history, so that's why the reenactments are such a huge bonus. Like I can't wear this normally. You can't throw on the frills and the blue coat. A big concern is something happening to a prop or a costume. Like if I can't find my hat for Bois Bear, I don't have my hat on right now for Bois Bear. Where is it?
I love the feeling of getting able to wear something that these people walked around in all day, all the time, and realize how hard it must have really been to wear these all the time. So it just kind of takes you on another level back into the past that way, I guess.
I think there's a stigma that people who do historical reenactments are very nerdy. Oh, well, that might be true when I think about it, but you don't need a time machine to go back into time.
Without a doubt, this is not a job. This is a life's passion, let's just say.
Be here and share with people, non-locals, like where I'm from. It's a treasure.
I've always said if I could work at Beaubears Island for the rest of my life, I'd do it. I'll volunteer here as long as they'll have me.
Gonna go something like this here, as you slide down that banister of life. Always. I cannot stress this point enough. Make sure the splinters point the right way. You take her slack. Pardon me.
It's a tight-knit community within our staff, and I love that. Like, it's just so fun to be able to work with your friends.
Yeah, I didn't swear. I didn't say frig.
You just said it.
I know, but you'll cut that out.